Hello, my name is Anna Luisa. I'm a portrait and travel photographer based in Amsterdam and Munich, and I am planning my trip to Bhutan at the moment, my third trip to Bhutan actually. Well, my first very serious trip to Bhutan. um, I want to discuss a little bit a few topics which you should take into account when traveling to Bhutan, simply because I realized now planning my trip that I can find information and I can find good information, but I cannot really find bundled information. So maybe this video helps if you want to travel to Bhutan, if you're just interested how you can travel to Bhutan, then I hope this video will give you some clearance on it. And feel free to just ask any questions in the comments. I'm very new to this whole YouTube thing. I don't know exactly if I am able to answer all my questions in the short video, all the questions in the short video. So please just ask them in the comments, and I will pick up on them. So I think there are three main topics I should definitely address. One is how to fly to Bhutan, because you probably realized already, in case you are planning on flying there, that you cannot book your flights online. The second is the SDF fee, which comes with a visa. And the third one, what was the third one? Yeah, the third one is what you should definitely buy in advance if you are, not only if you're a German like me that just likes to be prepared, but if you don't want to regret to not buying certain things. Flying to Bhutan. Yeah, it's not that there are direct flights from Paris or Amsterdam to Bhutan. I actually chose the route to fly from Amsterdam to Bangkok and then from Bangkok to Bhutan. Why did I choose that? Well, I don't really have that many options, to be honest. There are only two options which make sense when you fly from Europe. Is either flying to Bangkok or to Delhi. Of course, people would say, why don't you fly to Delhi? It's so much shorter. It is way shorter. It's like, I think 5 hours even shorter or something. I don't know, it's a bit too much, but like 4 hours shorter. But I did not choose to fly over Delhi because I chose to do that the last time that I flew to Bhutan, and it was chaos. Maybe it changed over the years, but I heard from people that it did not. Because as a European, or I think as an American as well, or anyone else, I don't know, you need a visa to change or transfer flights in India. Because the thing is that you fly with one airline to India or to Bangkok as well, and then you have to change there in the airport. You have to check out and check in for your flight. So the thing is that I had that in India, that arrive, with all your luggage, and you have to like get out to get your luggage, go through the immigration process and everything, and then you grab your luggage and then you check in again, and then you have to show your visa and you show everything, and everybody's asking, what are you doing? It's very chaotic. I could not really find restaurants that were open at the airport. Maybe I was just looking at the wrong places, but I perceived it very stressful. So, and since you don't need a visa in Thailand, check your own country first though. It's the case for France and Germany for sure. But check your country as well. But in most countries do not need a visa for a short visit in Thailand. So we chose to fly to Thailand because you fly, I think, 11 or 12 hours from here. And yeah, it's a night flight. And then you can either just check in easily without the immigration and without the visa and everything. And it's a very well organized airport. Well, I chose actually to stay a night in Bangkok just because it is so cold in the Netherlands, even though it's summer, but it's so cold that I just wanted to have at least one day in Bangkok. So I think that's maybe the better option. I heard from many people saying, that it is the better option simply because you do not need an extra visa, because you already have quite a lot to do to get the visa for Bhutan. If you have to get also a visa for India, it's just higher chances that something goes wrong. And also the Delhi airport is not as well organized. It's a nice airport though, I'm gonna say. It's not a bad airport, but it's not as well organized as the Bangkok airport. Never had to wait in line in Bangkok, and there are also a lot of very nice restaurants in the airport. I'm quite food orientated when it comes to my flying. Yeah, so if you want to fly to Bhutan, first thing you keep into account is, shall I fly to Delhi, shall I fly to Bangkok, or is there any new option coming up? So far, those are the two main options when flying, especially from Europe. The second thing is getting your flight from Bangkok or Delhi to Bhutan. As you probably figured out already at this point, you cannot just book it online. Usually a travel agency books it for you, or the travel agency in your hotel that you booked. So you cannot just fly to Bhutan and just backpack there and see where it goes. That's not how it works. You already have to have in advance a hotel. And then please talk in advance with with the team from the hotel how to book the flights and how to fly best. They know it all, really. They do that every day. They are very well trained in that. They have great ideas as well, and they give you the best tips. I'm pretty sure you're in the best hands. If you still have any questions, let me know. Maybe I can answer them, because by then I flew already my third time to Bhutan, and maybe can share already some information. A flight to Bhutan it doesn't matter if it's from Delhi or if it's from Bangkok. It's always 1,000 euros at the moment. They hold a monopole on it. Bhutan Airlines holds a monopole on it, so that will probably not change in the future, just so you know. There are different fees if you are from the government or something, but that does not apply for most of us. So so you take that into account. You have to book a flight to Delhi or Bangkok, plus booking the flight to Paro, Bhutan, which will be around 1,000 euros. The flight itself is spectacular, I gotta say. I think it's probably the most beautiful flight you can ever have in an airplane. I mean, you're flying over the Mount Everest, over the Himalayas. You're flying over Nepal, or at least in last time I think I flew over India, and it's like a bus ride, you know. The whole flight is like a bus ride, because I remember that we just stopped in, I think one time I stopped in Calcutta, and another time I stopped in Kathmandu, another time I stopped in Bagdora. So you always stop randomly on route somewhere, drop off some people, collect some people, and then it goes to Bhutan. Does not mean that you have like one of these little propeller machines. No, it's actually a very nice Airbus. You have a lot of space. The airplane usually is not crowded, not full. I think last time I was flying, I was the only, not really the only, but we were like in the plane with like 5 other people. And then in India, I think it was, or was it in Nepal? I don't know which route that was. More people joined, but it was not really full. The food was actually really, really nice. The people were really, really nice. And then the view, of course, was spectacular. I remember the first flight to Bhutan, I had a full-on view on the Mount Everest. And I remember the pilot saying, if you look now to the left, I think it was, you see the Mount Everest. And I was like, oh, crazy, you know? I can say that I saw the Mount Everest. That's really, really cool. So that's why it's already worth flying to Bhutan, for sure. I promise. If you're if you're a plane enthusiast, you will love it. And if you hate flying, you will still love it, because it's so beautiful, I promise. Little tip, try to make sure you book your seat on the right side, because you can only see the mountains from one side of the plane usually. So please ask to get booked on the right side. They know what you mean already. Immediately they know what you mean by that. They will put you on the right side. They are very helpful with that, very sweet. But do it in advance, because of the weight. They have to scatter a little bit the people in the plane. So make sure you say that in advance, and make sure to have your phone charged and phone ready, because it's gonna look freaking nice. So, okay, we covered the flight now. By the way, Bhutan Paro Airport is called one of the most dangerous airports in the world. I did not perceive it super duper dangerous. It's very spectacular, because the plane goes down and you have a very small, is it called landing field? You know what I mean. And when the plane arrives, you just have like a few seconds until it stops. And so far, I mean, there are only like, I think, a handful of pilots in the world that can fly to Bhutan, to Paro Airport. They are supposed to be the best pilots in the world, so only a handful of pilots can actually fly to Paro. And because they have to undergo a certain specific training, it's quite difficult to fly to Paro because of the altitude changes, the high mountain range you have to kind of pass through, and the extreme weather conditions. Don't get scared. I had so far only great experiences, and no, it's very special. Actually, it's very special. And shout out to the great pilots, because they were always very friendly and they did a great job. And it must be a hell of a challenge to depart and arrive at this airport. Okay, let's go to the second topic, which is the SDF. So the SDF, you probably heard that before, and that was probably for some of you the reason to not fly to Bhutan, which I understand. But good news, it's supposed to be changing soon. Not for me, because I'm too early. At the moment, the rule is you have to pay 200 euros per day. If you stay 14 days, you pay 100 euros per day. But that will change actually in the future. I heard it will be 100 euros per day in general. What is the SDF? The SDF is short for Sustainable Development Fee. It is a strategy of the Bhutanese to promote high-value travel with low volume of tourism. So it's not that you just pay 100 euros per day and they just vanish. They actually are supposed to go to the development of the country, to the sustainable development of the country. The SDF is a way to ensure to preserve the culture of the country as well as the nature. So don't see it as, oh my God, I have to pay 100 euros to the government. No, it actually goes into the development of the country. And you will get a very special experience there. How to avoid it? There is no way to avoid it, so just don't even try. I tried to figure out like, okay, how can I save money? Well, I found out if you stay 14 days, you pay 50% only, but I think that's gonna change as well. So check out the new rules. As far as I know, in the future it will be no extra rules, just 100 euros per day. When the first time I traveled to Bhutan in 2016, the SDF included a driver and a guide. This is not the case anymore. Some hotels offer an in-house guide, which is on their payroll. So make sure to be clear or like to communicate that in advance with your hotel, because you need a driver and a guide in the country. There is no way around it. You cannot go on a hike by yourself, go explore something by yourself. So make sure you plan that in advance, and make sure if at the moment you watch that video, if that's maybe already included in the SDF. Again, I highly doubt it. But make sure you block a guide already, because worst case, you end up in your hotel and you're kind of stuck there because the guides are all booked. Why guide? Why driver? Simply for safety reasons. It is dangerous. It is really dangerous. There are wild animals. The infrastructure is not really well, or not as we know it, and that's why you would just simply get lost if you would try to explore by yourself the country. And also, you should really be respectful with the culture and the people. I think they also want to prevent people just walk into the villages and disturb the beautiful lifestyle of the people. And I do understand that very, very well. So the SDF has to be paid. So 2 more infos about the SDF. You have to pay the SDF with a visa. So you pay a certain amount for the visa. I think it was $40 or something. And on top you pay your SDF. You cannot get the visa without paying the SDF. It works simply like that. I do encounter some problems with that in the moment. I think I would choose always the online banking option, because I chose the direct banking option first, and it did not work out because Bhutan said, we now had to pay the transfer fees, so please add the transfer fees. To avoid that, just do the online banking. It works better. Trust me on that one. I did that mistake for you, so you don't have to do it. Even if the system tells you it's not possible, it is possible. Just do it. It will save you a lot of trouble and extra costs like I had to pay. And with that, you don't hear SDF anymore. Please make sure when you fly, that you have everything printed out. I did encounter the situation, especially at the immigration in Bhutan, that they ask for paper. Sometimes they are also okay with the digital version, but just don't provoke it. Just better have everything printed out, your SDF, your visa, that you paid for everything. Just makes it easier in case. I was very happy that I printed everything out. And what to pack? Okay, I'm gonna make an extra video about every little thing that I packed, but just if you're watching this video because you're eventually flying to Bhutan and you just want to have a little bit of an idea, what do I need, what do I really need, not the 120 gadgets I just bought randomly because I felt like I needed. No, more really, what do you really need there? It's quite a few, it's just a few things, but you should really take them with you to avoid not being able to enjoy everything on your trip because you lack of something. Especially when you're such a German potato as me and you just want to be fully equipped all the time. The most important thing is good hiking shoes, because the hiking shoes won't be only your hiking shoes, they will be your everyday shoes. So bring good hiking shoes. Don't save money on them because you'll be wearing them every day. You don't want to have blisters the first day and then regret on the third day that you cannot walk anymore. Especially because it can be quite steep. And it's not like you can walk into a pharmacy there and ask for a blister band-aid, so be aware of that. Secondly, bring the medication you need. I got sick the first time I was in Bhutan. I got really, really sick, and the traditional Bhutanese medicine did help me a little bit, but it was for what I needed. I would have probably needed the medicine which I was used to. So if you have any conditions or if you tend to get sick easily, please bring all your medication and bring more than enough so you really have it, because I got sick and then I couldn't hike and I felt very sad, and it would have been easily solvable. But if I would have brought just the necessary medicine. And the third is bring a thick pullover. Whatever time you travel in the year, in altitude it will get colder. So even if it says it's 30 degrees in Bhutan, just bring a thick pullover. You'll love it, you'll live in that pullover, because as soon as you're in high altitude, just a cozy one, you can wear. It just every time I was so happy that I brought one of my thick North Face pullovers. And also very important, bring a camera, because you will want to take some pictures. The people are wonderful and nature is beautiful. Don't be like, I'm not bringing any technology. I want to live in the moment. Good, but take some pictures from it. You will want to show it to your family and your friends. As well, bring some good hiking socks. Very important as well, because blisters are your worst enemy during the trip. Or at least they were my worst enemy. And also something I was very, very grateful about, I brought some of those protein bars from home. Simply because Bhutanese people, they are really tough, they can hike and they can walk for hours without drinking and eating. But at least I am not built like that. And sometimes I got really low in energy, especially because of the high altitude. And very important, sunscreen. It's just very, the sun is very strong there. Bring a sunscreen, bring a cap. Bring especially those long sleeve tops, but I'm going to explain that in another video, all the little details. Something I'm really, really glad that I brought in was some chocolate, actually, from Germany, but not for myself, actually, because I met so many lovely people. And sometimes it's just nice, they offer you so much, they want to give you everything, they want to give you so much, and then you're empty-handed. And I really enjoyed that I had a little bit of like local food, local sweets with me. You have to check first if you can like bring them to Bhutan. Please check first before you bring random food. But I had, for example, some typical German little chocolates, and then I could give it to the people when they offered me food as well in their home. So at least I was not empty-handed. That's just something that I really appreciated, that I had it with me. And yeah, so far, if you're planning a trip, good luck. Please watch my other videos because I'll go way more into detail with what to bring, what to pack. I'll probably also make a video after my trip about what I missed or what I should have brought. And yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to share. I hope you are really looking forward to travel to Bhutan one day. I can highly recommend it. And yeah, check out my website, check out my Instagram. I hope I can inspire some people to do some nice travels and to explore a little bit the world. And yeah, now you know hopefully a little bit more about how to get there, how to handle the SDF, and what to pack.